Good morning, Junior 3. Today I'm going to explain chapter 6 in our story, Pinocchio. But first, let's revise the main points of chapter 5. As we said, that Pinocchio saw Geppetto in a little boat, and he jumped into the water to save his father, and he couldn't find his father, and the water carried him to an island. Again, that Pinocchio was going with the white bird to search for his father in a little boat. When he saw his father, he jumped into the water to save him, but he couldn't find him, and the water carried him to an island. On the island, he saw people working. Two men were making baskets. Then he met an old woman, and the old woman asked him to carry a bucket of water for her, and she is going to cook something for him to eat. Again, on the island, he saw a lot of people working, and he saw two men making baskets. He also met an old woman that asked him to carry a bucket of water for her, and she will cook something for him to eat. Okay, at the end of the chapter, Pinocchio asked the old woman that he wanted to be a real boy. So he went to school and he tried to be a good boy. Now let's start chapter 6 in your storybook, page 32. Here, let's read, but the next day Candlewick said, "Hey Pinocchio, I am not going to school today. I am going to Lazyland." Again, at the end of the chapter, Pinocchio decided that he is going to be a good boy because he wanted to turn to a real boy. But here, Candlewick asked him to leave the school and to go to the Lazyland. Then here we have, "What's that?" said Pinocchio. "It's a fun place," said Candlewick. "Nobody does any work there. There are no teachers who just play and eat sweets all day." Again, here Candlewick told Pinocchio that he is going to the Lazyland, and Lazyland is a fun place. There aren't any schools, there aren't any teachers, no homework, and so on. Here, then, a very strange bus arrived. It was pulled by 8 gray donkeys. "Come on," said Candlewick. The bus didn't look interesting, so Pinocchio said, "Ugh, you will be sorry," said one of the donkeys. "I was a boy like you once." Again, here we have something strange. The bus that was going to the Lazyland looked strange. It was pulled by 8 monkeys. And when Candlewick told Pinocchio, again we said that the bus was pulled by 8 donkeys. And when Candlewick asked Pinocchio to go on this bus, one of the donkeys spoke and said that "you will regret or you will be sorry, because one day I was a boy like you once." Now let's move to page 33. Lazyland was a noisy place. There were children everywhere, playing and shouting and eating sweets. It was fun at first, but soon Pinocchio felt tired and wanted to go home. "Oh, come on," said Candlewick, "have some more sweets." The next day, Pinocchio felt strange. "Ah," he cried, "Candlewick, help! My ears! Oh no, your ears are the same. We have got the donkey sickness," said Candlewick. "We are changing into donkeys." Here I want you to remember when the donkey told them that he was a boy like them one day. So when reading this part, here we know that Pinocchio and Candlewick are going to be donkeys like them. Okay? It was true. Soon they had tails and fur. Then the bus driver took them to a donkey market and sold them. On page 34, Here we have an angry man bought Pinocchio, but soon he didn't want him anymore. Again, Pinocchio changed to be a donkey, and a man took him to the market and sold him as a donkey. An angry man bought Pinocchio, but soon he didn't want him anymore. And he said, I'm going to throw this donkey in the sea and get a new one, he said. Pinocchio fell into the deep blue water, and slowly he changed back into a puppet. Again, the man threw him into the water, and Pinocchio, when he fell in the deep water, he changed again into a puppet. Then a huge whale opened its mouth, and suddenly Pinocchio found himself inside. Then he could breathe, and there inside the whale he saw his father. Again, Pinocchio was in the water, and he saw the huge whale, and it opened its mouth, and Pinocchio found himself inside it. Okay? And inside the whale's mouth he could breathe, and there inside the whale he saw his father. Dad, he cried, I tried to help you. There is nothing to eat but fish, said the old man. How can we get out of here the way we came in? Here he means that if you want to go out of the whale's mouth, the whale has to open its mouth and they will go out. When the whale opened its mouth, they swam out. Then a dolphin carried them back to land. On page 35, we have Geppetto and Pinocchio. Now Geppetto was too old and tired to work, so Pinocchio took him home. Pinocchio went back to school. Again, here Geppetto was tired, so Pinocchio took him to the home and he went back to his school. You are a good boy, Pinocchio, Geppetto said. But I'm not a boy, Dad, said Pinocchio. I am just a wooden puppet. Pinocchio worked hard. Every day he went to school and he listened to his teacher. And at night he helped Geppetto. Together they cooked their evening meal and talked about Pinocchio's day at school. The kind friend was getting old too. The kind friend here, the woman who helped Pinocchio in chapter 4. So Pinocchio took food to her and helped her carry buckets of water. On page 36, we have some time later, Pinocchio had a dream. The kind friend spoke to him. Pinocchio, she said, you are brave, and now you are also kind. You work hard and you are good. Because of this, you are changing. Your heart is now a real heart. One day you will be a real man. Pinocchio, you aren't a puppet anymore. You are a real boy. And when Pinocchio woke up, he saw that it was true. Here Pinocchio is a real boy, not a puppet anymore. And this was the end of the last chapter of chapter 6. Now let's move to your booklet. Okay, now let's move to your booklet on page 181 and 182. And again, the main points of chapter 6, Candlewick and Pinocchio went to Lazyland. It was a noisy place. They played, shouted, and ate sweets. The next day, they changed into donkeys. Then the bus driver took them to Donkey Market and sold them. An angry man bought Pinocchio, but soon he didn't want him and threw him into the sea. Suddenly, Pinocchio found himself inside a whale. He met his father. They swam out, and a dolphin carried them back to land. Pinocchio went to school, listened to his teachers, and helped his father and the kind lady. Because of this, he changed into a real boy. Here we have, let's move to the classwork question. Where is Candlewick going? He is going to Lazy Land. Where did the bus driver take Pinocchio and Candlewick? As we said, to a donkey market. Who was inside the wheel? Pinocchio's father. Why did Pinocchio change into a real boy? Because he was brave, kind, and good boy. Then we have complete. Lazy Land was a noisy place. We have got the donkey sickness, said Candlewick. Pinocchio, you aren't a puppet anymore, you are a real boy.